Hi, this is Sweet June 2010. How's everybody doing today? I want to talk about, well, I don't know, you could consider this a self-employment rant. Um, I want to talk about the difference between being an owner, a business owner, versus being an employee. There's a difference. I was just meditating on this the other day. I was really thinking about it the other day. And just really thinking about it. Was at work and was kind of thinking about it. And there's a big difference between being an employee versus an employer, an owner. And when you're an owner, you get to call the shots. You get to make the rules. You get to tell everybody what to do. You get to hold everybody to the standard that you require. And you get to make the rules. You get to set the rules. When you're an owner, you also get to enforce those rules. You get to make the rules and you get to enforce the rules. And if somebody does not follow the rules the rules that you set, then you got the right to fire them or discipline them or whatever. Um, when you're an employee versus when you're an employee, you have to follow the rules, whether you like them or not. Even if there's some of the rules that you don't like, you still have to follow them. And you have to suffer the consequences for breaking those rules. See, that's the difference. When you're owner and employer, you get to set the rules, enforce the rules. When you're employee, you got to follow the rules. And you got to suffer the consequences if you break those rules. Even like I said, some of the rules that you don't like them, that's too doggone bad. Because if you want to get a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week, you better follow them, or you're out the door. See, that's the difference between being an employer versus employee. An employer, an owner, gets to take time off whenever they want. They ain't got to punch a time clock. They don't have to punch in. They don't have to punch out. They can take a break whenever they want to take it. They can take time off whenever they want to take it. They can come to work when they feel like it. They can leave when they feel like it. See, that's the difference. When you're an employee, guess what? You got to clock in. You got to punch the time clock. And you better be on time. Because if you're not on time, that goes back to what I said before. That's the part of the rules. You got to be to work on time. And if you don't be on work on time, then you got to suffer the consequences. Some employers have a point system. And if you get up to so many points, you could be fired. Some employees have a system where they dock your pay. Like my job, they have a system where if you're late too many times in a pay period, I think it's 2 or more times, then you can get your pay docked. And that's legal. I know I already did the homework. It's legal. They can do it. They just can't lower the pay under the minimum wage. As long as they don't go under the minimum wage, they can do it. Yeah. So, yeah. But they're the owners. They're the employers. And they have the right to do that. See, they can call the shots. See? As long as it's legal and the law allows them to do it, they can do it. See? When you're an employee, you got to punch in. Versus an employer, an owner, you don't got to punch in. See, you can come to work when you get ready. You can leave when you get ready. You want to leave early, you want to leave a couple hours early, you can leave a couple hours early. See, when you're an employee, you got to ask permission to leave early. You want to leave early, you got to ask permission to leave early. You don't just get to jump up and leave. If you jump up and leave, then they're gonna assume that you quit, or you may not be welcome back the next day. No, you got to get the permission from your employer to leave early. And you might not be able to leave early if they ain't got nobody, to work in your place. Depends on the job, depends on the situation. And then when you're an employee, like I said, when you're an employer, you can take vacation time anytime you feel like it. See, when you're an employee, you got a set amount of vacation days that you can take. And when you can take them. I remember when I worked in retail, I had to work every weekend. I used to work at a Meyer store. Here in Michigan, in the Midwest, they have Meyer stores, Fred Meyer stores. They're just like Walmart's. It's exactly the same type of store as Walmart's. It's like a mega store. They sell groceries. They sell everything you need. They sell groceries, clothes, everything. It's just like Walmart's except it's Myers. I used to work at a Meyer store, and we used to have to work every single weekend. And I used to have, I had 2 set days off during the week. I used to have Wednesdays and Thursdays off. Because I figured, well, I got to work weekends, I might as well get the days off that I wanted. And so, I had 2 days together, which was good. And I used to have Wednesdays and Thursdays off every week. Those were my days off every week, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And if I wanted to take a weekend vacation day, I had to put it in writing. I had to submit something. And then, now, if it was too close to a holiday, as a retail, as everybody know, around the holidays they make more money because they get more people around the holidays. The weekends and the holidays is when they make the most money. You put your time in, let's say you want a Saturday off, and you put it in for a vacation day for Saturday. Well, if it was too close to the holiday, guess what? You're not getting it. Oh, that used to make me mad. I put my time in, like say the 4th of July falls on a Friday, and you want to take that Saturday off. Forget it. In retail, forget it. You're not getting it. you might as well hang that up. You're not getting it. Because they're counting on getting a lot of customers. See, they're counting on getting a lot of people. They're selling fireworks and and you know how they like to extend the holidays. The 4th of July might be on a Friday, but they figure people still be celebrating Saturday and Sunday. You know how they like to extend the holidays for 2 or 3 days over. And I hate that, being a Jehovah's Witness, I don't celebrate holidays. So that really makes me mad, Instead of just stopping it, just celebrating it the day that it is and let's leave it alone, they want to drag it out throughout the whole weekend. So if the 4th of July falls on a Friday and you try to take a Saturday off, forget it. You're not getting it. You might as well hang that up. You're not getting it. And they consider Friday a weekend too. So a lot of times you had to work Fridays. See, in retail. Because those were Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were their most busiest days of the week. And if you try to take time off too close to a holiday, you didn't get it. They didn't care what you had to do. Don't have no plane tickets to go nowhere. You ain't going. When you come back, you might not have no job. You better check with them ahead of time before you get your plane tickets. Oh yeah, that's how it was in retail. So the employer, because the company gets to call the shots. You're an employee. You don't get to call the shots. You're just punching a time clock. They tell you can't work on this day, you can't take time off on this day, then you can't take it. If somebody else is taking the time off, or you got too many people that's taking time off on that day, sorry, you can't get it. They've already requested it off before you. So whatever you got to do, you got to clock it up, you got to hang it up. See, that's the kind of stuff that you have to run into when you're an employee. And you just got to deal with it. You might be pissed off, but you got to shake it off. You got to shake it off, And they figure you need a job, so they figure you're not going to be too pissed about it because you need a job. So, they don't care. They're the owners. They don't care. So that's the difference between them being an owner and being an employee. Now, if you're the owner, you can take the 4th of July off and the whole weekend and the week after that, whatever, because you're the owner. You reserve the right to do that. And you got other people that's holding on the fort while you're gone. That's the difference. Oh, yeah. That's the difference. There's huge differences between being a business owner versus being an employee. Huge differences. And when you're an employee, like I say, you have to follow the rules. You know, sometimes you don't even have the right to set your schedule. No, you work when you're an employer, you set the schedule. Well, we need you on this day and that day, at this time and that time, whether you like it or not. See, I don't think there's no such thing as a flexible job unless you're working in home care. You're working in home care, then you get to set your own schedule. Anything other than that, it's not flexible. You need to work when they want you to work, and if you don't, you know, if you're not able to work that, you know, then you suffer the consequences for that as well. So they're the employer, they're the owners, they get to call the shots. See? Now, I remember I worked out to a nursing home, I worked out to a county nursing home, and they reserve the right to mandate you over the phone. They could literally call you and mandate you over the phone if you were stupid enough to answer your phone. Back then, you know, I think when I was early 2000s, they had caller ID. So when I had a day off and I seen they was calling, you think I picked up that phone? Not. Yeah, they could mandate you over the phone. I don't know. Like I say, when they're the owners, they can do anything they want to do. And this was a union shop, go figure. And if you guess what it would happen if you turned them down, you're fired. And the so-called union would let them get away with this. So much for a union. So that's the differences between being an owner and being an employee. Which one do you want to be for the rest of your life? Do you want to be? I asked myself, June, you want to be an employee for the rest of your life? Or do you want to be an owner? I want to be an owner. I want to be a business owner. I don't want to be an employee for the rest of my life. I want to set my goals to be a business owner one day. But I can make the rules. I can call the shots. I can tell my employees, this is what needs to be done, and you know, this, that, and the other. This is what time I need you to come in. I need you on this day. I need you to work these specific hours. These are the rules that I set. If you don't want to follow them, there's the door. See, I want to be able to do that. I want to be a business owner where I can call the shots. Now, I'm going to be a nice business owner. If I have employees, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to treat my employees good because I'm going to want people to stick around. And I'm not going to take any of my employees for granted. You know, I'm going to treat my employees well. I'm going to treat them right, with respect. I'm going to treat everybody equally. Not going to treat people differently because of their race or whatever. Everybody's going to be, and I'm going to demand that every employee in my company treats everybody the same. That's going to be one of my rules. If you discriminate against somebody, you're out the door, you're fired. Because I'm going to have a zero tolerance for discrimination in my organization. There will not be any discrimination in my organization under any circumstances. I will have a zero tolerance for it. If anyone in my organization discriminates, they are fired. And I'm going to put it in writing and make them, and it's going to be in a contract, and they are going to be required to sign it before employment. If you harass anybody or subject someone to a hostile work environment, you are going to be out the door, because I'm going to have a zero tolerance for that. Everybody's going to treat everybody with respect. And if you can't get along, this is not a preschool. This is a job. This is an employee, a place of business. And you're going to act like an adults. And you're going to get along. Now, if it's somebody that you have a conflict with, come to the office. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk it out. You're not going to hash it out in front of everybody else, because that's unprofessional. I'm going to demand that everybody displays professionalism in my organization. And I'm not going to tolerate anybody being mistreated. All my employees are going to be special to me. I'm going to treat everybody like they're special, because employees are valuable to an organization, especially good employees. Employees that come to work every day, employees that work hard and do the best that they can do. Those employees are very valuable to an organization. And I'm going to make sure that all my employees are going to be treated like they deserve to be treated. Because I'm not going to want people constantly leaving. Good help is hard to find. And you find some good help. Okay? So I'm going to hire the best human being for the job. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, green, gay, straight, or whatever. What you do in your personal life is not my business. That's God's judgment, is not mine. I don't care what religion you are. I don't expect everybody to believe the same way I do. We're going to keep it separate. We're going to keep business separate from religion. And if you're Catholic or Buddhist or whatever, that's your business. They ain't got nothing to do with your work performance. I'm going to hire the best human being for the job. The best human being. And that's the way it's supposed to be for everybody. I'm going to have diversity in my organization. And everybody's going to be treated with respect. But I want to be an owner. Because I'm going to show these people how a company is supposed to be ran. When I have my own company, I'm going to show people how an organization is supposed to be ran. Oh yeah. I know how I've had enough jobs to know how an organization shouldn't be ran. So I know how an organization shouldn't be run. So if I ever have my company, I'm going to show people how an organization should be ran. Okay? That's what I wanted to talk about. That was what was on my head. This is an up-to-date self-employment rant. This is Sweet June 2010.